Hey guys, it's COREROSS and World 6 News. Today we're going to do a breakdown of how the reputation system works, because I've seen an increased amount of posts on Reddit with people who don't understand the basics of the reputation system. So this video is a very quick explanation of how it all works. So we'll start with this page from the reputation system, which is called standing. And of course, the biggest thing on this page is a graph, and it is called the standing chart. And it decides what reputation you will be given based on the negative and positive points that you have. And we'll go over how you get them shortly. But let's break down the standing chart itself. So first of all, you'll see at the top it says standing chart last 100 matches in the past 90 days. So let's say that I was to play a game today and I got 5 negative points and 5 positive points in that match. If I then went on to play 100 other matches, that would then remove those positive and negative points that I got in that match because it happened 101 matches ago. So it's only tracking the last 100 matches, or 90 days, which is 3 months, so effectively an entire season. So let's say I take a break for 90 days and I return to the game after that, my reputation will have 0 negative points and 0 positive points, and I'll basically be starting from the beginning with the reputation system. And be noted, these are the only ways to remove negative points from your reputation. So either playing 100 extra games or waiting 90 days, there is no other way to remove negative points from your reputation. Now, moving on from that, we're now going to take a look at the chart and explain how to read this. So first of all, we'll start with the lowest reputation you can get, and this is dishonorable, and it is at the top of the chart. And you simply achieve this by having over 100 negative units. So that means if I have, let's say, 110 negative units and 0 positive, I will be dishonorable. But if I have, let's say, 101 negative units, but 5,000 positive units, I will still be in dishonorable. So it's all about the negative units. And this dishonorable status comes with some major punishments. So first of all, you will not be able to play ranked or standard or go into Siege Cup. You will also, at the end of the season, not access any of your ranked rewards. So let's say at the start of the season, you were respectable and you were actually getting into ranked and playing and ranking up. But by the end of the season, you went into dishonorable, you will not get your rank rewards. You will also receive minus 50% XP and renowned for playing matches as well. And now let's take a look at the next rank, which is disruptive. This locks you out of Siege Cup and it gives you no access to your ranked rewards. So you can still play ranked, but you don't get your rewards at the end of the season. And you also get a reduced reward at the end of games by minus 25% XP and renowned as well. And of course, on the graph, you only need 75 negative units to be in this rank. Doesn't matter how much you get in the positive points. And now with the next reputation status, you'll notice it changes. The shape of the graph is significantly different, and this is your respectable rank. And this comes with no negatives, but it does have a positive reward. So every single match you play, you get 1 bonus point, and these bonus points give you rewards, which we'll go over later. And this standing works very differently from the ones we've already talked about, and you'll notice the highlighted area that I've brought up is a very different shape. So first of all, this is the one where if you're a brand new player or you've been away for 90 days, you will be sitting in this reputation standing as is the default one. So if you have 0 negative points and 0 positive points, you will be sitting in this. However, let's say you have 10 negative points and you have 50 positive points, you'll still be in this standing. However, if you have 10 negative points and you have 80 positive points, you actually go up a standing. However, let's say that you have 30 negative points, but 5,000 positive points, you will still be in this standing. And overall, this is a very simple graph to follow, but I've seen posts on Reddit where people just don't have a clue. So I'm hoping this at least gives you, hopefully for the people that are having issues with this, it just gives you a little push into the right direction. Now, moving on from this, we have our next standing up, which is esteemed. You get 2 bonus points per match, plus you get an esteemed card background. And of course, you can have that be used behind your operators to show that you're a good boy. And you'll notice in the graph, this is a far smaller area. And again, just like we've talked about in the previous ones, and hopefully you're getting it by now, that you need to have the points to be in there. If the negative points push you out of it, then of course you don't get that rank, even if you have really good positive points. And I keep calling these ranks, of course, they're not really ranks, they're standings, but I use ranks because my brain is just kind of defaulting to that as a good representation. Now, moving on from that, we have our next rank up or standing, and it is exemplary. So this is 3 bonus points per match plus an exemplary card background. So you can show, of course, that you are a very good boy to your teammates. And so far, I haven't seen many of these used in game yet. Let me know if you're actually using them, because I was kind of hoping they'd just look cool and be like, maybe a fancy pattern or something, just a really nice, like, this is, kind of like how some people buy the diamond skin for their weapons and they really like having it, right? And I kind of thought, oh, it'd be kind of cool to have a nice, cool background. But it's actually just a picture of the reputation or the stand-in logo. And it's kind of like, yeah, it's not so cool looking, and it's a bit like, here I am, I'm the good boy on the team, and it's kind of weird, and I don't see many people using them. So I'm not sure if they should switch it out to just be something really cool looking, rather than it be an actual badge of being a good person. It's kind of, I think it's a bit weird. But of course, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a ton of people actually using them and loving them. And just to reiterate again, let's give an example that you have 105 positive points, but you have 50 negative points. Then of course you're not going to be in the top standing, you're going to be in the neutral one. So I'm hoping we've got to the point where everyone really does understand this graph now, because I do not have a better way to explain it. So hopefully you guys are there. Now let's take a look at the right hand side of this page. So we've got the stand-in impact. So this is the impacts that the stand-in brings to you. So if of course you're dishonorable, it's going to show that you can't play ranked and stuff like that. So for me here with the top stand-in, you can see that I've got +3 bonus points per match, and I get my exemplary card background. And then you got your stand-in bonus points below that, which redeem for different stuff. Now this is technically a currency in the game, but you don't actually have control over it. And you're able to acquire 75 of these per season, and it gives you just a selection of rewards that are fixed. So it might be like some alpha packs, some boosters, and things like that. So it's just a way of incentivizing you, of course, to play better and better, because you get these bonus points and they just give you a couple of nice things here and there. And then below that, you've got your commendation streak, which gives you basically more positive points. And this is all about just simply every game you play, if you keep getting commendations from your teammates, then you will stay on a streak. And as soon as, of course, you stop getting commendations, you will lose that streak. And again, of course, this is to incentivize being a good player, a good teammate, and all that in the game itself. So very much a carrot on a stick situation, where they've got the carrot out there on a stick trying to get you to go where they want. And of course, if you go the other way, then they're going to hit you with the stick. Now let's move on to another tab in the reputation menu. We'll go to positivity. Now this is very, very simple. We have our positive points here, and this is shown with the overall positive points. Of course, that's the total. And then you also have commendations, which are given to you by your teammates. And you can do this as well at the end of the game, where you can go and say, hey, this teammate did so-and-so stuff, and that will give them a positive point. And then you've also got positive communication as well. And in this example, it is grayed out because I have my communications in game switched off. So there is no way to gain these positive points for me. And now let's move on from that and go to the negativity tab. So this has a lot more stuff in it. So first of all, you got your overall negativity, so a total of your negative points. Then you have abandons. I have currently not got any of them, and you can get this from, of course, just leaving games and not coming back, or you could get disconnected and you're not able to reconnect. This will go into negative points. Then you've got ally damage, and this gets very complicated. So first of all, you can just do damage to a teammate. This could be an accidental shot here and there, and that can lead up to you getting negative points. But if you only do a little bit of damage, you'll actually get no negative points whatsoever. Then you've got your ally gadget destruction. Now, this is quite forgiving. You can destroy quite a lot of ally gadgets, and it will not give you negative points. But if you're doing it consistently, then it'll start giving you negative points. Of course, this can be very risky. Let's say you're playing Fuse a lot and you're blowing up a lot of friendly gadgets like drones and stuff that are in the objective rooms. This will potentially start becoming negative points. So far, I've been playing quite a chunk of Fuse and I love playing them, and I haven't had too much issues. I've definitely blown up the odd drone here and there, and so far it hasn't led to negative points. And then you've got friendly fire. So this is putting your friendlies into the down but not out position or outright killing them. And you'll notice the little warning markers that are actually on this one as well. So if I was to get a certain way up this, it actually will automatically switch on reverse friendly fire, which means as soon as I join a game, I will have reverse friendly fire on. That means if I accidentally shoot someone, I take the damage, they don't. Now that's actually good, because then it doesn't count as a negative rep, because you're hurting yourself, and that's fine. Now let's say you actually kill a teammate. They have the opportunity in their game to vote on whether that was deliberate or accidental, and as such, if they say it's accidental, you don't get negative points. But if they say you did it deliberately, then of course you get negative points. I'd also be very wary of your friends. If you TK your friends, just to have some fun, they might deliberately say that it was actually intentional. And of course, you've got no way to know where you got those negative ally damage points from if you're TKing a couple of your friends here and there, and they could be deliberately tanking your reputation. So watch out for that. And then under that, you've got Mousetrap. So this is only something that console players have to worry about, and it's being found to use any kind of adapter that is allowing you to cheat, either reduce recoil or use mouse and keyboard on console. And if you get hit with this, what it will end up doing is actually pushing you into the PC player base and will not allow you to leave. It'll also give you the PC recoil as well. And like with the graph we looked at earlier, it'll take you 90 days of not using adapters to then get back into the console player base. And we've also seen our first ever permanent bans using Mousetrap as well. But of course, this is always going to be tricky, and it'll be the usual cat and mouse game with cheaters, just like you have with hackers on PC, where at some points the cheaters will manage to get away and then they'll have to catch back up to them. So it's always going to be a constant fight. And then we have negative communications, and this could be with voice chat or with text chat. And you'll see that there's a couple of warning signs yet again, as this one will ban you from using the chat if it gets too high. And again, this is a good thing. If you do manage to get this many negative points, at least being banned from the chat will then reduce your negative points over time at least. And then we've got one last tab, which we're not going to look at, and it's simply just the how it works. So of course, if there's something not explained in this video or something else you just don't understand, you can go there and do a lot of reading to try and figure out what it is you're confused about. And that brings us on now to the conclusion. So first of all, this is not a perfect system. And the reason I think this is you don't have an oversight. You don't have a human actually taking a look at reports and saying, is this legit or not? Because you definitely have toxic players who will just team kill for the fun of it and absolutely ruin someone's day who just simply try to play a computer game to have some fun. But of course, it's fine if it's your friends you're doing it to and no one's getting harmed. And that's kind of the thing, when you do a report in game, it usually says this will be under investigation, but it's really not under investigation. But this is the best version of the reputation system we've ever had. And the thing I like about it is it actually gives you some rewards. So for me, just playing normally, I get some rewards just for playing. So I'm like, cool, happy, very nice, no problems with that. But I have seen people, especially on Reddit, get locked in to worrying about their standing big time. Like even if they're just neutral, they're really worried about it and they want to push it higher and stuff like that. It's like, don't really think about it. Just play the game. Just try not to blow up teammates or shoot teammates or blow up too many gadgets or stuff like that, and you'll be fine. Like, I'm not the best player in the world, and so far I haven't got a single negative point. Now, I definitely will at some point. I usually end up team killing a player when inverted on a window at some point in a season, so it will happen, but it just hasn't happened yet. But I will say the system is very unforgiving. If you do end up getting those negative points and getting pushed into the very negative standard, it's of course extremely difficult to get out of it, because you basically got to play 100 additional matches or wait 90 days. And of course, if you want your ranked rewards, you're going to have to play those additional games. And if you have a family, a full-time job, you're just not going to be able to do that in a season without putting in too much work and too much time. And, you know, this is a computer game. You just want to chill and play it. So there is definitely not all positives here, and you can get trapped in that negative reputation, but hopefully it will help you to go after the carrot, and eventually in future seasons you're going to be in a much better place going forward. This could also be very harsh on brand new players. You could imagine how many team kills you get as a new player, and it could absolutely destroy your reputation and really then disconnect you from being able to play with your friends in certain playlists and stuff like that. So there is definitely negatives to it, but we'll see how the long term goes. But right now, it's definitely the best version we've ever had, and I'm just finally happy that it's fully in the game and fully released instead of being in the years and years and years of development. So hopefully it's going to stay in a state where it's satisfactory or good going forward, and that I don't really have to think about it, and I just get the odd rewards from it from time to time. And I do hope the background cards change. I would love maybe if it just was like an old school rainbow logo, or even some sort of rank indication, like you know how Zero is like the leader of the training kind of side of Team Rainbow. It'd be kind of cool if maybe I got a little card that had that training logo on it, where I'm like a trainer, you know, and that's my representation of having a good reputation, is apparently I'm a trainer for Team Rainbow or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, guys, that's the end of this video of going over the new reputation system, how it works, and hopefully going forward, you are going to be able to understand it better. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.